What's up, guys? Matt Brown here for thelines.com, playpicks.com. Let's talk some Monday Night Football. See if we can try to make some sense of what's going on in Week 9, Week 10 here. Last couple of weeks in the NFL been wacky, but we're trying to straighten things out and make some money here on Monday night. Rams at the 49ers. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Everything we do is absolutely free, so really do appreciate the support, you guys. And also, if you are a subscriber, you're automatically entered into a big giveaway we're going to do before the end of the year as an appreciation to you guys. Also, thumbs up and let us know in the comment section how you're playing this thing, what bets are in your account, what bets you're thinking about as well. So we can take a look as we see right now. 3.5 is the spread we're looking at across the board. So 3.5 in favor of the road Rams. We got a total, as you can see right here, 50.5 in this thing. So if we look at the injury side of things, on the Rams side, Robert Woods lost for the year the same day that they signed Odell Beckham to come and play for them. So Odell's going to suit up on Monday night, and he is going to be put in action real quick with the loss of Robert Woods. Pretty bad for the Rams there. Questionable linebacker Von Miller, who they acquired in a trade, center Brian Allen, and then corner Darius Williams. According to Sean McVay, he expects Von Miller to suit up, barring a setback in warmups. On the 49ers side of things, out corner Dre Kirkpatrick, wide receiver Mohamed Sanu, defensive tackle Maurice Hurst. On the questionable side for them, corner Josh Norman, safety Jimmy Ward, and then defensive end Arden Key. This Niners squad has lost 5 of the last 6 games, and last week they looked absolutely putrid. They were going up against Cardinals backups, Colt McCoy. He was without A.J. Green. He was without DeAndre Hopkins. And this 49ers squad got throttled. Now, Rams also lost last week to the Titans. That said, the Rams didn't even give up 200 yards of total offense in that game, despite the fact that they lost. 2 really bad picks by Matthew Stafford and 12 penalties for 115 yards will do that to you. And that's exactly what happened to the Rams in that game. Scroll down a little bit here further if you want to continue to kind of read on. I mean, listen, what we have here is kind of a surprisingly efficient 49ers offense, kind of under the radar. If you look at the advanced metrics, and of course, that's not everything. Certainly not equally, it's not equaling wins, and it's not equaling a ton of points on the board. But if you look at their pass offense, they're actually 8th DVOA right now. Pro Football Focus disagrees completely and has them down at 23rd. So this is one of those where we see a big disagreement in kind of the advanced analytics. That said, the overall offensive performance of the 49ers has been fairly efficient. If you look at yards per play, they're 7th in the NFL. They're 9th in yards per pass. They're 13th in yards per rush. Early down EPA has them at 11th, early down success 16th. So it hadn't been bad. I mean, it's kind of more middling of the pack, on that lower tier of the upper third or to the middle. But again, it hasn't been bad. It's kind of under the radar, a decent little offense here, but hasn't been all that great on third down. They're 30th in the NFL in third down efficiency. They're 30th in turnover plus minus, which means they've been giving the ball over a ton and not getting enough on their end. And that has been really all the difference for this team. And in rolls a defense in the Rams that is now adding Von Miller to all of this. It's the number 1 overall defense according to Pro Football Focus. It's number 4 according to DVOA. If you look, when you have Aaron Donald, now you're going to add Von Miller. Their pass rush win rate, 3rd overall in the league. Run stop win rate is 1st. And their yards per play defense, they're 6th. Yards per pass defense, they're 6th. Yards per run defense, they're 10th. So they have been a very, very good defense so far. And they're going up against what has been, again, an up and down kind of middling offense there for the 49ers. That said, they do get back. George Kittle came back last week. They figured out a way to get Brandon Ayuk back more involved. And then on the Rams side of things, you have to wonder, how easily is Odell going to be able to just blend right in? Or at least for the next week or so, is this going to be the Cooper Kupp and Van Jefferson show? And then from there, Odell starts to get gets a more better understanding of this offense and starts to fit in a little bit more. Now, the offense has been amazing, but Robert Woods has been a big part of that. So it's hard for me to say. I can give you all the stuff where they're second overall DVOA, where they're third overall according to Pro Football Focus. Their offensive line has been stellar at keeping Matthew Stafford clean for the most part. Of course, last week, the Titans go and we're getting pressure all over the place. So I imagine that was revisited this week a ton in the meetings for the Rams. Early down success, they're sixth overall. Early down EPA, they're second overall. Like yards per play, they're third overall. It's one of the very best offenses in all the league. And you would think that maybe not in this game, but Odell can only help with something like that. So the defense from San Francisco is really where this has kind of been. I think that there's the mismatch here with the Rams offense and the San Francisco defense. And, outside of Bosa, who has played at a very high level, and you look at all his grades and all his rankings, and he's way up there still, a lot of everybody else isn't doing very good. And on top of that, when you look, they're 21st in pressure rate, so they're not getting pressure on the quarterback. They're giving up a lot of explosive plays, which are the 20-plus yard plays. They're 20th in the league in explosive passes, 25th in explosive runs. They're 21st in early down EPA and 23rd in points per play defense. So I do believe there's a nice edge for this Rams offense, even with Robert Woods out. You still have Cooper Kupp, your number one guy. Van Jefferson's been there. And Odell do enough. Darrell Henderson's been great for them running the ball as well. I think there is the big advantage in this game would be the Rams offense versus San Francisco's defense. And as efficient, kind of, again, as under the radar efficient as the 49ers have been, I still think that defense can neutralize a little bit of what they're going to do. So for me, I do have a play in on the Rams, on the road Rams, 3.5. Look, it is one of those things, and listen, it's one of those things where if you look at it, man, I just honestly think that there is a significant upgrade. Like a lot of people are looking at last year's games and last year's stats and trying to make comparisons about, oh yeah, but let's look at what the 49ers did last year to this team and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But it's just such an incredibly significant upgrade to go from Jared Goff to Matthew Stafford. It's such a huge thing to bring a Von Miller onto your defense. And as I read you from this injury report, they're pretty healthy right now, and the 49ers defense is pretty beaten up. It has a chance to be without a lot of key starters in this game and a lot of key contributors. So I'll take the 3.5 all day long here on the Rams and just prove to me that you're not one of the elite teams in the NFL. Everyone seems to want to be proving that they're not one of the elite teams in the NFL. So I'll go ahead and fall victim to maybe the Rams being fraudulent as well. But I have these two teams power ranked so incredibly different. Entering this week, I had the Rams at 3. I got the 49ers way down at like 19, 20, something like that. So that's the difference in the way that I have these teams kind of, in my opinion. So that's going to be an easy play for me on the Rams and something like that. No, nothing on the total here. I do think there's a chance the Rams get up in this thing and there's the back door is kind of open for some garbage scores that maybe would end up putting this thing over. So while I do have kind of a little bit of a lean to the under, I'm going to go ahead and pass on that. On the prop side of things, guys, let's go to our boy. If I'm going to back the Rams, well, listen, he's going to have a big game, and he's going to have to do a lot of the heavy lifting for this team. And so over on Cooper Kupp, 7.5 receptions, I have him every bit of 9 and change in my projections. So I'll take the over on the 7.5 for Cooper Kupp receptions. If you wanted to play the over on the yardage as well, no problem there. If you wanted to split, half a unit, something like that, I'm okay with that. I just don't have as big of an edge here because I kind of have him right at 99 and change for yards. So I do have him over this, but not enough to make a play on that. Maybe I'll have like a quarter unit or something like that on Cooper Kupp. But I do think he's going to be a major contributor here, and I don't think there's going to be an answer for the 49ers as to how to stop him and Matthew Stafford. The other thing that I did want to look at here is, depending on how you think this game is going to go, if you believe this could be there's a couple of different ways I think that the overs on IU get there. Not necessarily the over on receptions, but at least the over on yardage. So what if you think that the 49ers are going to be incredibly efficient, if you think they're going to have going to have no problem scoring on this team. It's not going to be just the Deebo Samuel show. They're going to need to have some versatility in this offense. And so there's one way that gets the over there as well. Secondly, what if they get behind a ton, right? And then they're throwing every single down because they have to catch up. So that lends to an Ayuk who, again, has become back more part of this offense. And the last thing would just be that he is actually, the number 2 guy again here. Kind of a 2A, 2B type situation with Kittle behind Deebo. So I think there's a few different ways that this could get there. I think most likely scenario would be that the 49ers fall behind and have to throw every single down, like we've seen the last couple of weeks with this team, where Jimmy Garoppolo ended up sneakily throwing for over 300 yards in those games because they were just behind and had to abandon the run and just throw a ton. And so I do have a pretty solid lean to Ayuk on the over on yardage as well for him. But guys, I'm on the Rams here tonight. No play on the total. I will say this: if I get in game, if the 49ers happen to get the ball first or something like that and go down and score, and I'm able to get the Rams at under 3, I'll probably tack on more. So that'd be an ideal situation for me in this one as well, is to kind of have an opportunity to get in on them at 3 or under as well in game. So something for you to watch as you're watching this game along as well. As always, guys, everything we do absolutely free. So please go ahead, subscribe to the channel, thumbs up, let us know in the comment section who you playing tonight. Are you going to take the points? You going to lay the points? Is there any other prop that you're looking at? Anything like that you might want to take a look at? Because I think that there's some interesting angles to this game and how you think that this might go. And so if you again, there's always the rush attempts for the 49ers as well. If you think this backfield is Elijah Mitchell's 100%, then there's even a chance that you might want to even look at the props on him for on a rushing standpoint as well. As always, we're going to try to make some money tonight, guys. Hopefully anything you learned here, fade, follow, whatever it might be, but at least there's some good information for you to try and make your decision. Good luck on all your bets here on Monday Night Football.